Manini scapes.
What up, everybody? Alright, so this is kind of a longer video. I think it's a good length where I can kind of talk about the build and some of the challenges that I had. Right now you can kind of see the lights that I have running. There's two AI aqua illumination freshwater pumping out about 50 watts per, and then during peak times I have a Kessel pushing out about 40 watts. Photo period on this is probably around 11 hours, but it's very gradual ramp up, and then there's a peak around noon. I have it dim till around 3 p.m. and then it peaks one more time till 5 o'clock. Right now you can kind of see the crypto corine spiralis tiger, the Madagascar lace, and the cypress hellfry. The grass I have growing is just a tall form of Eleocharis. This tank had a lot of algae issues in the beginning, primarily not because of a lack of nutrition or CO2, but honestly, I needed to inject oxygen. Once I started injecting oxygen, let me rephrase that, injecting atmosphere, it kind of settled itself to the point where there's really not that much algae. I do clean the glass maybe once every month or two. I think the main reason the atmosphere being injected helped because it added not only oxygen but I think nitrogen, to be honest, since that's a significant component of atmospheric, well, you know what I'm trying to say. If you look real quick to the corner to the left, there's a large pre-filter attached to my intake. Filtration is a Biomaster Owaze 600. That pre-filter is necessary because I was pushing so much flow and obviously injecting bubbles that the Owaze was capturing a significant amount of air, which would end up going through the filter, which wasn't a problem. But on the outflow of my filter, I have a CO2 chamber, or I'm sorry, a CO2 reactor, and that eventually would get full of air, and then of course would cause issues. I kind of would break the siphon over a few days. Here you can see a bunch of nice neons, that little shaggy cryptocorine leaf there. I really don't mess around with overly pruning. I do cut once in a while, but my philosophy of late has been kind of setting up tanks that are self-maintaining, very low water changes, very little cleaning, with an emphasis on more of a natural system versus what I used to do, which was, you know, giant water changes every 7 days, measuring every single fertilizer level, all that stuff. Now I just kind of play it by ear, watch how things respond, and really enjoy a more lower maintenance tank. That does come with some caveats though. You're gonna go through some trial and error, you might have some algae blooms, etc. But if you, what you see here on screen, this is probably no maintenance for a month or so. The high flow is being pushed by a AI Nero 5, which goes up to about 3,000 gallons per hour, but it's highly controllable or programmable, so it really pulses during peak times. And that's for two reasons. One, oxygenate the tank, but also to flush everything out, keep things agitated so that the filter can do its thing. You see the gravel, there's very little debris. Even the way the contours and the grading of everything as far as substrate, that's all really from the pump. I wanted something natural. I wanted something that was, you know, made sense with the flow, lighting, etc. Tank's pretty clean. The back wall, if you look real quick, you can see a lot of like green algae. I leave that just because, one, I think it's a good way to export nutrients, but also when things get, when the loaches need some food, that's always available. Livestock for this tank, neon tetras, ghost shrimp, and several species of different types of loaches. Plants, you can kind of get a good shot here. You see the crypts in the middle, the Madagascar lace, the cypress hellfry, that thicker grass on the right, and then the very fine grass would be the Eleocharis montavedensis. I think that's how you say it. I have maybe 5 or 6 different grades of pebbles. on top of a synthetic inert white sand. I like that contrast, but more importantly, I love the different densities. So when the flow kicks up, they kind of sort themselves, they find their spots, and kind of creates its own scape. I really enjoy it. Very little manual adjustments is performed here. Oh, and I forgot one last plant. It's kind of struggling, but I have some pink panther crypts to the right. Those are super slow growing to begin with, so as long as they survive and new shoots appear, I'm not too worried. The video's coming to a close pretty soon. Hopefully this kind of give you guys an idea of how. Well, let me rephrase. Gives you an idea of the equipment I run, my maintenance schedule, and some explanation of why things are the way they are.